The Department of Justice has revealed criminal charges in connection with a failed Iranian plot to kill U.S. officials, including President-elect Donald Trump. The DOJ named 3 individuals in a criminal complaint unsealed Friday, including an Iranian man who says he was instructed to surveil and assassinate then-candidate Trump. The 2 other suspects are not accused of going after Trump. In a statement, Attorney General Merrick Garland says, "We will not stand for the Iranian regime's attempts to endanger the American people and America's national security." Meanwhile, as the second Trump administration begins to take shape, the fate of Trump's legal battles are awaiting resolution. A federal judge on Friday granted special counsel Jack Smith's request to delay future proceedings in the election interference case to give his office more time to reassess its path forward. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane has been covering it all for us. So, Scott, let's start with this assassination attempt. What more do we know about this plot?
Yeah, prosecutors say the Iranian National Guard tasked a man named Farhad Shikari to target U.S. figures deemed to be enemies of the Iranian government. Shikari is still at large, believed to be in Iran. But the prosecutors also charged 2 New York City men, alleging they were recruited by Shikari to help with this enterprise. Prosecutors also say that they were targeting and surveilling a U.S.-based dissident of Iran and some of the other critics of the regime who live in other countries. But in the charging documents, the prosecutors allege at some point, Iranian officials urged Shikari to focus instead on killing Trump. According to what we've read from the Department of Justice, Shikari says he didn't actually formulate a plan, but a lot of this could be a pledged revenge or pledged piece of vengeance for the 2020 death of Revolutionary Guard Commander Qasem Soleimani, who died in an airstrike ordered by Trump. We know, Lana, that the U.S. Secret Service has ratcheted up security of Donald Trump, again after the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt, and then once again as September approached. And there was another alleged assassination attempt mid-month in Florida. The defendant in this case, the top-line defendant, though, Farhad Shikari, is still at large.
And, Scott, this isn't the first time that Iran's been linked to an assassination plot. Help us understand more about the scope of Iran's efforts targeting U.S. officials. And given that Shikari is still at large, is there still concern about Iran trying to exact this revenge that the Department of Defense says that they were trying to exact?
Yeah, there are broad concerns about Iran, that being just one of them, that this type of targeting is specified in a court document, but may only be the tip of the iceberg or indicative of other potential threats down the road. What's more, Iran was accused of election interference attempts, of trying to push through and amplify misinformation ahead of the election to try to skew the results or impact the results, that there's a multi-layered threat from Iran with which the United States is now dealing. As for those 2 New York men, they were arrested early in the week, midweek, actually just after the election. They'll face federal charges as the feds try to find some way of getting Farhad Shikari.
Well, speaking of federal charges, you've also been covering the special counsel's election interference case. Real quick, Scott, what does this latest filing suggest about the future of the case?
It feels like this case is about to evaporate once this administration ends. There were some court deadlines for December that were set by the judge in Donald Trump's 2020 election interference case. The special counsel says, let's push these things back. We need time to figure out our next steps. But every indication is this prosecution will be wrapped up before President Biden leaves office.
All right, Scott MacFarlane, thank you.